I can see my life is crap. I have to see them too. I just live into my world, far from the pain, the feel. Without a reach of fire, without a weapon to start out. But when I stop to speak, I'm thinking for help, thinking for hope. Just need to open my eyes now to try to change them somehow. To be someone among other I can try.
I forgot the weekly calendar. But welcome to the Honor Ramble. I am your host, Auntie Collins. Guess who's back? Back again. Kyle's back.
Yeah,
Tell a friend.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be gone next week. So,
and we'll cry, and that's fine.
No, it probably just means you're gonna have an amazing, short, direct, straight to the point show, and not that.
Are we blessed with this?
And not this 13 match nonsense.
What did you think of the new intro? Bobby did such a great job.
It's absolutely fantastic. Bobby is an absolutely amazing producer, host, podcaster, friend, human being, and does awesome work.
Absolutely. He's doing such great stuff. So if you're watching this live, hi, hello, welcome to Honor Ramble. Leave your comments in the live chat. I don't know which way it's on the YouTubes. I think it might be over here, but sometimes it's over there. I don't know.
Well, if you're watching on mobile, it's even below the screen, I think.
It's below.
So it could be anywhere. We don't know.
How the heck are you?
I'm so tired. Like Orange Cassidy, I'm so tired.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what happens. Like, regardless if you have kids or not, at the end of summer, it's just I'm tired. I don't know.
It's quite a bit, and then we sat through a show that if I hadn't seen it end, I would have believed you if you said it was still going.
Okay, I have the opinion that the first match was just a continuation from last week. Is that not how I feel? It just felt like, did I miss something?
Well, they gave themselves they put themselves in a really tricky situation because they changed the ROH World Tag Team titles, which, oh my God, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. They changed the tag titles on Collision this past Saturday, and if they showed the actual ring introductions to this, which happened almost 2 weeks ago now, it would have kind of given the lie to the whole illusion of the taping schedule. And because I'm pretty sure when they taped this, I'm pretty sure it was Mike Bennett and Matt Taven coming out with the belts.
Mike Taven, that's cute.
I told you I am tired. Everything
Somebody
is awful.
fuse their faces together because I need that. But
we can
Matt
make that happen.
Hair from like.
Oh, don't worry. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna secretly DM Bobby. I'm gonna have him do it, and we're gonna surprise you with it. It's just gonna be there in all the files for next week.
That would be incredible.
And and you'll be scanning through looking for something else. You'll be looking for Tony Nese's corncob abs or something, and you'll find that unholy abomination.
That's all I want. So Kyle, last week you missed our breakfast food discussion, and I gotta know, what is your breakfast food choice?
More often than not, I don't eat breakfast. I'm a bad person that skips the most important meal of the day.
Wow.
But if I were to go to a restaurant with the family or something, if we were to go out to breakfast for some such thing, I order a whole bunch of different stuff. I'll go classic pancakes, I'll go French toast, I'll go biscuits and gravy, I'll go as many, name a white person food, and I'll probably eat it for breakfast at some point.
What do you put on your pancakes?
Really simple, just butter and syrup, and I'm good to go. If there's other stuff, if there's chocolate chips, if there's whipped cream, if there's whatever, if there's fruit, okay, fine, I'll eat it. I'm not going out of my way for it, though. I'm very simple.
That's very interesting. That I would have guessed either pancakes or waffles for you, for sure. Everyone was making fun of the fact that I like my. So I don't really eat breakfast that much as well. If anything, it's like oatmeal or anything, or overnight oats or something. But I really love McDonald's breakfasts, especially after like a late night. You know what I mean? And I would kill someone if I could get a chicken McMuffin. So it's a McMuffin with no eggs, because I don't like eggs, with a little chicken, but I like to put the cheese on it with some tomatoes, and it's basically a chicken sandwich, but a chicken McMuffin.
I do remember being very excited when McDonald's briefly brought back the bagel sandwiches.
Oh my gosh, they're in the test market up here with the steak,
Yes.
their version of steak in it. It's interesting, but I like breakfast food, but I don't like breakfast food in the morning. Is that a thing?
It is now.
It is now. Yeah.
And you better get with it, or else.
Or else, it's not that I'm stalling trying to talk about this thing, this show, because I really don't want to talk about a 2-hour show for 2 hours. Because a lot of this was a bunch of nothing.
I put it on my Twitter, and I'll plug my Twitter at the end of the show, of course, but I put it on during the show. The first two matches went, which were the 8-man tag with all of the champions. And by all of the champions, I mean Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, and the Von Erichs, who hold 2 titles between them.
Mm-hmm.
And Cage of Agony against the Lucha Libre B team of Serpentico, Fuego del Sol, and Atlantis Jr. Those 2 matches went a combined 22-21. The next 6 matches went 21 minutes.
Combined. Wow. Really excited to talk about this.
That gives you a feel for what this show was.
I mean,
went about 22 minutes. The last 2 matches went about 20 minutes, and in between was a whole lot of nothing. $13 matches with an average match time of, by my count, 5:37.
What is this? What is this?
It's ROH Dark.
No, I saw It's so hard because I really want to live tweet things because I feel like I hope that Tony Khan sees my tweets. I mean, he has to at some point, right?
I
But
think that's the only reason why Angelico is now challenging for the pure championship.
because of you, because of Kyle, honestly, it's all your fault. I mean, we could also say that about Shane Taylor getting his, comeuppance from Mark Briscoe. Hello, please, yes.
I think you and I have both asked for that repeatedly.
Yeah, repeatedly. But it's hard for me because I'm A, finishing work. B, I'm not really supposed to have the show on while I'm working. So to even like take it a step further and also live tweet it.
Might be a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here I called it up. I have the tweet that I called up. The first 2 matches went 22-21. The next 7 went 23-17.
It's I'm not excited. I mean, here's the thing. When we look at the whole card, right? The whole 13 matches on this episode 78 of Ring of Honor on Honor Club. We know that our main event, which Mark Briscoe is defending his title in the main event. What? Against someone that I actually want to see against Mark Briscoe? Totally excited about that.
A title match in the main event and not a weird multi-man with only a tenuous connection?
Right. Insane. But I don't, after watching Collision and my rant about how I don't understand, if you want people to watch your show week after week after week after week, why are we having title changes on not the show that you're trying to advertise that is behind a paywall? Why?
I don't know. I will never get it.
I don't.
He has been doing this chicken or the egg thing where
chicken or the egg thing.
It's about which came first and which caused the other. That's the phrase. And
I've never heard that.
Am I just that painfully Midwestern that no one knows what the hell I'm talking about?
Okay.
In any event. Yeah, this is the ROH World Title actually getting defended on ROH TV. It's now 2 weeks in a row that's happened, so now we probably won't see it again for about a month.
Which is depressing. That depresses me.
This is now the 56th defense of an ROH championship on ROH TV with 0 title changes. It is the 9th ROH World Title defense on ROH TV. In the 78 episodes, which that's a world title defense once every not quite 8 or 9 episodes. So 1 title defense every 2 months or thereabouts. Yeah, but who's counting? Welcome
to the chat, Chris Faithful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm counting. I'm always counting.
Kyle is always counting. I get the nickname Dory all the time because I'm distracted by shiny things. And I forget things that I should remember. And then I remember stupid things like P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney,
I mean, that's important too.
That did get them home to Sydney. That is true.
Right? Let's give credit where it's due here.
But yeah, other than the main event, I don't really care about, what's going on with the weird tag situation. I do like that Abaddon is in action. I do like that Commander is back. I do love that MXM is back. I do love Tony Nese versus Leo Rush. I love that Trisha Dora's in action. I love that there's a Pure Rules match that's not for the title. Hey, Ed, welcome to the stream.
There's Ed. What's up, buddy?
But let's just jump in head first and see if we get a concussion or not, shall we?
It's fine. It's fine. I can land on my head. I'm not using it.
Listen, I'm the one who's concussion prone over here.
So
Wait, have I told you how I've gotten 4 concussions?
I think yes. I think we did do that story at one point.
Yeah. Falling down the stairs, hitting a screen door.
So we'll be very careful, to make sure that it's a good soft landing.
All right, Kyle, start us off with this first opening match.
It is the ROH 6-man champions, Dustin Rhodes and the Von Erichs, and the ROH tag team champions, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, against the Undisputed Kingdom of Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, and Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and John Silver. 8-man tag. We did, as I said, we didn't do any ring announcements because that would put the lie to the whole taping schedule because of this ridiculous, absurd, ludicrous tag title change that didn't even happen on ROH television.
Right. That's why it definitely feels like a continuation.
And it's making me straddle the two viewpoints of one, Dustin Rhodes is delightful and deserves every wonderful thing that happens to him. And on the other end, this did not need to happen.
Right. What was the point?
It is forcing me to live in both of those worlds simultaneously. And I do not care for the headache that it's giving me.
I mean, it is definitely a headache. I think this match was way too long, and it was way too long for the outcome being pinning the Dark Order once again. Is this 4 in a row that we've pinned the Dark Order?
Thereabouts. I think if we put Dark Order in there with Jacoby Watts and Nick Camarado, the universe might just implode from one of them actually having to win.
There would be no winner. It would be a draw. We would be the winner, and everyone else would be the losers. Right?
Yeah, exactly. This actually, I had this at 12:16, but there was probably 2 minutes worth of random brawl before they actually called for the bell, which is a choice by the official, where every other time someone jumps someone during the code of honor, they ring the bell right away. And here we just didn't for a couple minutes because reasons. I don't know. Because who cares? It's Ring of Honor.
Who cares? It's Ring of Honor. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I don't either. I don't like that I said it. And worse still, I don't like that it felt justified.
Chris Faithful. The point is Sammy eventually turning heel so that he can turn over a new leaf. Get it? Leaf learning tree.
While I appreciate the dad joke, I am not. I don't threaten me with Sammy Guevara going back to Chris Jericho again.
Hey, I brought this comment up with Peter Avalon and Brandon Cutler because honestly, that was one of my favorite dumb feuds.
Yeah, I liked that. It was short, it was inoffensive, and it was nonsense.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite genres of wrestling, which is entertaining crap.
We all would like it to be. Well, new t-shirt idea. Who cares? It's Ring of Honor.
I saw somebody on social media today say, and I forget who it was, otherwise I would give them credit, but it was someone else, and maybe someone can remember it, but said something to the effect of, I would like to ask Tony Khan specifically, what is ROH? I think that's an excellent question.
To me, my impression is a tape history.
At this point, it's hard to think otherwise. Yes.
No.
Let's actually talk about this because while it ran long, it was a decent match, all things considered.
Sure.
Marshall continues to be ludicrously athletic for somebody his size. Even though he almost undershot that moonsault onto John Silver.
Oh, that was a little scary.
Evil Uno being the dumbest corner man in recorded history by distracting the official in order enabling all 4 members of his team to get hit with Shattered Dreams at the same time. And then 2 minutes later, actually being relatively smart and distracting the official yet again to allow all 4 members of his team to hit simultaneous low blows. Because this was just utter chaos.
Yeah.
Marshall gets the pin on John Silver following what I can only describe as a spinning iron claw slam. Like it was visually, it was very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that we don't normally see week after week. I got confused at the end of the match who the legal man was. So when everything ended 1, 2, 3, I go, oh, I guess that match is over. Because
I felt pretty sure that Marshall was in fact the legal man on his team. I don't remember who it was for the heels. I could be off on that. If I rewatch it, I could be completely wrong. But I feel like Marshall was in fact the legal man.
John Silver did end up getting the pin, but I don't know who on either team. Because, again, that's also the thing of the opening match. The opening match should entice me to keep watching the show, theoretically, right? So it just kind of got a little bit too distraction, healed, this move, it got a little bit too messy to be an opening contest for me. But
well, that said, Sammy Guevara, I will continue to say Sammy Guevara is a really good babyface.
It's all a facade. We all know it's a facade.
He's a good high flyer. The crowd wants to be behind him. If you just let them, his TNT title run, what was as a face was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has the tools to do that if you just let him do it.
I mean, I still don't know for the life of me why the crowd before he left for paternity leave, why they turned on him. Because I personally have always found him enjoyable as a heel and a babyface, but I didn't think it was deserved for the crowd to turn on him so hard. But
I get the impression that it was less about him and more about the fact that we've turned him toward Chris Jericho for the 700 millionth time in 5 years.
Unfortunately,
and I think at that point, and I could be remembering this incorrectly, but I feel like that was the case where he was building some momentum and then he just turns and goes back to Jericho for no discernible reason. And I feel like the crowd just en masse at that point just went, and we're done with you.
And we're done.
Don't care what you're presenting. Don't care what you're saying. Don't care what you're doing. We're done with you.
Unfortunate.
So this is a good opportunity, and it's why it might be a decent move to have put him in ROH, even though I don't think you should have put the tag titles on him.
I don't understand. I guess Dustin also already has.
And the story that you're telling was Sammy wanting to prove himself to Dustin and to earn his trust and earn his respect. And you could have told that story just as effectively with a hard fought, clean loss to the Undisputed Kingdom. That story works just as well no matter which way you go. And if you keep the belts in the Undisputed Kingdom, you can then use them to go. You can then put those belts on, say, the Infantry, or Top Flight, or the Righteous, or
tag teams even joining
MXM,
up.
or. But nope, we're gonna do this because. Yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Anything else on this opener?
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
I feel like you're going to say that a lot. We had backstage. Mark Briscoe has some words about tonight's main event with the Beast Mortos. He admits that Mortos beat him, pinned him clean in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3. Says he's not going to run from it, but he's going to avenge that tonight. And he says tonight he's here to slay beasts. Mark Briscoe talking is always a thumbs up from me, though.
It's so funny because I just love that he if there's one thing I'm gonna do, and then he names 3 things that he's gonna.
Well, when you're a parent, and especially when you're a parent of as many kids as Mark is, you get used to multitasking. It's fine.
Just so funny. Just so funny.
So then we go to Trios action. Cage of Agony versus Sufisco, Fuego del Sol,
Yeah.
and the ROH World Television Champion Atlantis Jr.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not sure Mark. I'm not sure Mark ever claimed to be a smart man, but I've seen other people claim Mark as a smart man.
Yeah.
At one point, I believe it was even Caprice who said that Mark had one of actually the highest IQs in the ROH locker room. Which you can take that as a horrible joke at the expense of the ROH locker room, or a statement as to the brilliance of Mark Briscoe.
That's fair.
You know what? Take it whatever direction you want, whatever you think is funny, whatever entertains you, whatever pops you. Just do with it as you will.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much I do not care about Brian Cage. And it was funny because Brian Cage is coming out in his Wolverine cosplay outfit. And
while Gates of Agony are in red and black.
Right. It doesn't fit the theme. And I looked at Bishop Khan, I looked at Brian Cage in the middle, and I looked at Toa Leona. And honestly, I think Brian Cage looks worse than the two of them.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of people would look bad next to Khan.
Yeah, that's true. But like even Toa Leona looks fresh. He doesn't look bloated. And I'm not body shaming him. I just think that he looks a little too roidy right now.
I mean, he is the Swolverine.
Swolverine.
Have you not heard that nickname?
Yeah, I have. I've heard.
Okay.
It's just funny. Did you see, by the way, Deadpool? You haven't seen Deadpool? Are you not a Deadpool fan?
I'm fine with it. I just don't watch many movies.
Kyle, we live very different lives.
I am a deeply boring person. This is why it continues to shock me that anyone wants to listen to anything I have to say.
Because you're so intelligent, and I'm over here. I'm never gonna claim intelligence. Never. I watch wrestling.
See, that's our dynamic. Apparently, I'm the smart guy, and Auntie's the one that makes everybody laugh.
Listen, I don't follow who people date or marry unless it's literally on screen. I don't. I have to rely on Kimmy to be like, oh, this person and this person are marrying. This person and this person are dating. These
Or
people
not
and these
anymore.
people are no longer dating. I don't know until people tell me.
Yeah, so this was a match. I don't think even with Atlantis Jr. on their side, I don't think anybody really.
Listen,
Kimmy is on some well-deserved vacation time.
Let's hope she's putting on sunscreen. And Bobby, feel free to clip this because Kimmy, I am making fun of you mostly because I want to also be on vacation sipping espresso martinis because Lord knows Auntie needs one, especially after tonight. Wear sunscreen, Kimmy. Be smart.
Although at this point, I almost respect the commitment to the bit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's actually here. It's just you can't see her.
Yeah, you can't see her. She's right there. But Kimmy has the night off. We're letting her go on vacation.
To be fair, I did last week, so it's only fair.
One day Auntie will go on vacation. That's not just the weekend.
I did appreciate that Serpentico was wearing his neon green mask.
I know
that he just won back last week. So okay, good on that, because that angle is finally
hopefully
over. Other than that, like it was a standard power versus speed match. I don't think it needed 10 minutes. But it was
only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It felt like it went on forever. I got up, I went to the bathroom, came back. Still on.
Cage picks up the win for his team by catching Serpentico in a flip dive off the top rope and turning it into a drill claw. Because between Serpentico, Fuego, and Atlantis, Serpentico was taking the fall. Like 100%.
Wild.
100%.
Well, my favorite addition to Ring of Honor was backstage after this match. Are we ready to go on? Wait, are we touching tips? Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Wait, how do I...
Like that.
I did it!
Yes!
Oh my gosh. See? That's where my brain goes. I'm not computing.
Yeah, the camera mirroring makes it tricky.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also the kind of person that would probably benefit from having like an L and an R on my hand because.
Well, you can use little Post-it notes on the side of your computer. And
but I'm thinking while I'm driving, when people are like, "Oh, turn left here," and I'm over here making a right hand turn.
Well, that I really can't help you with at that point.
Just imagine me in a car.
I live on the other side of the country, and I'm now thankful for that.
Oh, well, the NXM collection is backstage. Mansoor gave us the great, exciting news that him and Mason will be in action tonight. And then they were interrupted. And I have no idea who these people are.
These would be the Pillars of Destiny. A tag team mostly from the Texas independent scene. They've worked a little bit up as far north as Colorado, but they're working a pretty generic wild man type gimmick. And if you pair that opposite MXM collection, like that's entertainment right there.
Is that what you mean?
No, it means it shows you L's. The one that's your left hand is the one that looks like an L when you do that.
I thought it was calling me a loser. Just no.
The chat is trying to help Collins, and they refuse to be helped.
Look down at me. Okay. I'm so sorry. No one else is having as good of a time as I am. Just over here drinking water. Not even with my wine. Listen. We do have ice.
Ice cube. We've established ice cubes in the wine is a thing that happens.
Why would I drink wine from a water bottle? A stainless steel water bottle.
Any port in a storm.
Oh, listen.
So yes, MXM is interrupted by the Pillars of Destiny, their opponents for later tonight, who pick up their scent apparently.
I wonder what they smell like.
Mason gives the good advice to not move, as their vision is based on movement.
Yeah.
And they just stay still until the Pillars of Destiny leave.
Oh.
I feel like it would have been funnier if it was Luchasaurus still under the previous gimmick, because but it worked just the same.
Amen.
And then we have and then we move on to our third match of the evening, and our first of several squashes in a row. And maybe we just go rapid fire through these. I don't know. We'll see what we do. Abaddon, the Living Dead Girl, was back in action against Alexandra Lyon. Even though it was spelled with a J instead of an X, so it was spelled out, but it was pronounced Alexandra.
Mm-hmm.
So sure.
Yeah.
The one of the notes that I have for this is that Lyon decides not to follow the code of honor at the concern of ruining her gear. I'm not sure how she's shaking hands, but go ahead.
I appreciate that, we did have that flashback to last episode, in case you missed it, where Athena was scared out of her shorts by Abaddon making their presence known, and clearly putting a line in the sand that the Ring of Honor Women's Championship is something that they would like. So I don't mind a squash. There really wasn't much of a fight here.
No.
Especially since Abaddon sold a lot of the offense being shoved in their face.
Yeah, she missed a charge into the corner. They missed a charge into the corner. They absorbed several super kicks, and then just shrugged it off. Abaddon also hit a Widow's Peak, which I'm not sure I've seen them do before tonight. Victoria's old finish, that over-the-shoulder gory special into the sit-out neck breaker. So that was kind of a fun addition to their arsenal.
Yeah.
And then hits Black Dahlia for the win in 1:33.
Just enough time. Gets paid to appear and not by the hour.
Yeah, we're going to be saying that a lot tonight.
I'm looking at my notes, and there's not much that I have in my notes. Yes, I have 6 pages of notes, but a lot of it is space, what the heck, space, like it's so much nothing.
For a
But
2-hour show.
for a 2-hour show, we do go straight away into that mentioned MXM collection match versus the Pillars of Destiny. I think the crowd is absolutely obsessed with MXM, as am I.
So is Ian Riccaboni.
He couldn't get enough.
No, he was all in on the MXM collection. I hope Sarah's okay with this.
Oh man. The juxtaposition of MXM versus the Pillars of Destiny is something that I did want to notice. I do think that we are establishing MXM as a staple in the ROH brand. I'm hoping. I know that they lied to us saying that they were exclusives. But what can you say? I can't get enough of them. Can't get enough of them.
No, I love this, putting them opposite a team like the Pillars of Destiny, who are very much gimmick-wise diametrically opposed to MXM. I think you can get some mileage out of running them against the Iron Savages, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
like there, and let's
I think
give
that would make me too horned up. That would make me too horned up. I'd be ready to blow my load right on stream.
Talk about OLE after dark. It's more like OLE fans.
I love dad jokes. That's why we're here.
That's another one to clip at about 43:30 or so, Bobby.
But Auntie,
yes.
Come on, Kyle with his joke-ronies.
But this was fun stuff. MXM is just so much fun to watch. They're so good at what they do and integrating the gimmick into what they do. The runway walk up the ramp and then turning, hitting their pose, and then immediately transitioning into sprinting back down for dueling spears, like absurd.
It's so much fun. This is also the second time MXM have offered their tips on ROH, in which they have been retaliated with trying to bite or
Mansoor almost lost a finger.
Yeah, he almost lost a fingy, but you know what? Fingies never say die. Fingies never say die. Fingy. Beep. It's too fun.
Now that you know which way to point.
Yeah, now that I know. I'm a good learner. But yeah, in the end, Mansoor and Mason pinned one of them to end the match and immediately began posing.
As you do.
Wait. That's all we need. Clip that.
Yep, there it is. That's our new still. Our new still.
Oh.
And apparently that's their new finish. I think they said it was called the centerfold. It's basically an assisted double arm DDT.
It looks good.
So, yeah, it's good stuff.
Like they've been doing it for a while, so they can do it to me anytime.
Auntie.
Very nice. I'm just talking about wrestling, guys. We're only talking about wrestling. Jeez.
Speaking of wrestling, we go backstage again. We caught up with Lee Moriarty last week over his win after his win over Action Andretti. Moriarty says that Andretti tried hard, but this is the era of the pure renaissance.
I loved this.
Meanwhile, Shane Taylor says that he leads by example, but to be the leader he needs to be, he needs gold himself. He says it won't be long until he's back from his shoulder injury, and that Mark Briscoe needs to hold on to his property, as it won't be long till he's back. And he is gunning for Mark Briscoe and the ROH World Title.
Finally, get some new blood into it. Get people wanting certain titles. Put some fucking prestige on this shit, because this is what we've been needing. My God, I've been waiting for Lee Moriarty to just invigorate the pure championship. Did Tony Khan listen to me? Did he listen to my article? Did he read it? Because honestly, I care. I'm so excited to watch this, because next we have a Pure Rules match that's there's no title for. So we're getting a Pure Rules match on Ring of Honor television. This is just for me, people. If you don't like it, if you don't like rules or gimmicks or whatever, this is just for me.
And the fact that Angelico was in it.
The moment I do have to say, when I saw that, I was like, did Kyle make this? Did Kyle make this show? We got our friend SJ over here. Finally, I'm able to tune into one of your live streams. Nice to see you, girl.
Welcome.
We're
almost 50 minutes in when we're on match 5 of the night. So
listen, I was just talking about blowing my load. So do with that what you will.
Several people will, I'm sure.
Oh my God. All right.
But we had Angelico versus Aaron Solo in a Pure Rules match. The judges at the top of the ramp are Jerry Lynn, Paul White, and Christopher Daniels.
Now
when I think of pure wrestling, I think of Paul White.
They were the judges. Sorry. One of these things is not like the other.
Although somebody gave me a joke that popped me really hard on Twitter after I put that joke on my Twitter. Someone said, well, he does make really effective use of his one punch before the warning. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh my gosh. But they were also I miss a surprise judge. Is that wrong to say?
No. We've had Jerry Lynn and Christopher Daniels as judges for a while. That was it Chris? Oh my God. Maybe it was. There you go. Yes. That's right. It was, because Chris is an awesome person who follows us on Twitter, and he dropped that joke. And yes, he was 100% right with it. That is an excellent joke, and I will give him full credit for it. It is very efficient use of his punch. But yes, we had Christopher Daniels and Jerry Lynn as judges a number of times, and we'd always have a rotating third judge. Sometimes it'd be BJ Whitmer. Well, we know why he's not going to be around to judge anymore. Sometimes it was Jimmy Jacobs. Sometimes it was, it was a variety of people. We had
would he get pyro?
We had Madison Rain was a judge a few times.
Love her.
I'm still annoyed that Chris Hero continues to be backstage, and we've yet to see him on camera in any appreciable way.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Give me the Kings of Wrestling one time. One time. That's all I ask.
I don't know, man.
Nonetheless, we had our judges. Aaron Solo makes his entrance and drops off some cash at the judges' table. the note that I had was good luck, but I don't see this going the time limit anyway. That did indeed prove to be the case. Yeah, and Solo used 2 rope breaks in the first 2 minutes of this match. Because Angelico is so good at this.
I know.
His style fits the pure division so well. I've only been saying it for a year and a half.
And when I think pure rules matches, I don't think Aaron Solo. But also I don't think of Aaron Solo at all.
Most people don't. I think he's been okay in Ring of Honor. I don't think he's been anything spectacular, but he hasn't blossomed the way that, say, like a Lee Johnson has.
Right. I'm going to sneeze. I'm not going to sneeze.
Nevertheless, Solo does use his one warning closed fist to sort of break things up and get the advantage for a bit. But that doesn't last long. Uses his 3rd rope break to escape a sleeper hold of all things. Like, come on. You're in a pure rules match and you can't escape a sleeper.
I know.
Unacceptable, sir. I don't know what those are.
I don't know what those are either. Cute.
But it's somebody on Twitch, so thank you for joining us via Twitch. You can join us on Twitch, join us on YouTube, join us in the comments section. Leave notes, leave love, leave your reactions to the show. Tell Auntie how fabulous she looks tonight, and tell me how smart I am, because that's not the best I got.
Smart, capable, smarter than me.
But yeah, this was Angelico hits that twisting leg lock of his. I'm not even sure what we call it.
I don't know.
But again, in keeping with the pure rules theme, he hits it on Solo, but he's right by the ropes. Solo reaches over, scrambles over, grabs the rope, leans on the bottom rope, and Mike Posey pretty much shrugs at him. Sorry,
you used all of your rope breaks.
You used your 3, and shortly thereafter, Solo taps. I had it at 5 minutes 20 seconds.
That's a short amount of time.
Yes. But it made Angelico look absolutely dominant. It made him look like an absolute killer under the pure rules format. Having somebody use 2 of their rope breaks in the first 2 minutes of the match, like that is a way you establish somebody in that division and do it very quickly.
Absolutely.
Which apparently that's a thing that we're doing, and we'll get to that later. And I never thought I would be annoyed at the idea of Angelico getting a pure title match, but I don't love the way it happened, and we'll get to that a little bit later when we get to that. But we go right into more women's action, and somebody that you were very excited to see back in the ring in Trish Adora,
taking on Erica Lee, friend of the Outrunners? Question mark?
My first note was, unfortunately, the Outrunners are nowhere to be found. And I like Erica Lee. She's wonderful, but the Outrunners are also fantastic, and I'm happy anytime they're on my screen. The only other note I have is, hopefully this goes better for Erica than her match with Nyla Rose did this past Friday, which only went 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Honestly, I absolutely adore that match, and not just because I adore Nyla Rose. Don't tell Kimmy, but
the native beast has enough love for both of you, I'm sure.
I just love that Erica was serving as, the valet, for better or worse terms, I don't know, for the Outrunners, and then as they're cleaning up themselves from their loss, Nyla's, ring entrance goes, and Erica just looks so disheveled, so so unprepared.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt she went into this match with Trish Adora. Trish Adora, I think, needs to get more solid, legitimate wins, more of a presence on her. I mean, she absolutely controlled everything through this match. There were, she hit a snap mirror, which I love seeing, and then hit a splits kind of submission thing.
Yeah, that was the point. That was the point in the match where, because I was keeping tabs on it, that was the point where Erica surpassed the amount of time she was in the ring with Nyla Rose. Was when she was stuck in that nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, yeah, I said she passes that mark while she's being stretched by Trish doing the splits, so it's going longer, but not necessarily better.
I really enjoyed it. I really like Erica Lee setting her up for those chops and then saying loudly, I can take it. Like, and you hear the music or the narrator behind. And in the end, she could not, like.
Yep. All we needed was a record scratch sound effect, and we'd be there.
You're probably wondering how I got here.
But yes, Trish hits a high angle release German, and Lariat Tubman finishes in 2:39.
So good. Absolutely loved it. Love Lariat Tubman. Love seeing Trish Adora here. Let's go.
Let's build up Trish Adora into title contention. Any title, I don't care.
I agree. Well, we head backstage. The Righteous are back. They're back on my television. Is this the first time they've been at the Texas tapings? I can't remember.
I believe so. I don't. The Texas tapings have lasted for so long that I genuinely I don't remember the time. I barely remember a time before them.
But I love the Righteous, and not just because they follow me on Twitter. But Vincent said that everything in ROH has changed, which it has, because where have they been? They think that people with giant personalities and egos make the rules now in Ring of Honor. And Lance Archer stepped in and said, everybody dies for no fucking reason. Why?
It's just a reminder.
Yeah.
Mori.
Everybody dies. Okay. I mean, he's technically not wrong. In the end, we will all be skeletons, but didn't seem to have a place here.
I mean, it is getting close to spooky season.
That's true. We do love a good spooky season. As the air goes crisp, and I'm so excited to not be using my air conditioner. But Vincent said that they have reached nirvana, and then asked everyone in ROH how they could start when the Righteous know how it ends.
Dig what I'm saying?
Ooh, dig what I'm saying.
I wish he would have said it just like that.
That's what I'm here for.
I just give line readings to the ROH talent. I'm here for it.
I mean, I'm here for it.
But yes, give me more Righteous on ROH TV. Give me them in the tag division. Give me them in the 6-man division. I don't care. More Righteous on my TV.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Hopefully Tony Khan digs what I'm saying.
Or else. Well, are you ready for more squasherinos?
Let's go. Let's power through these. We're getting there.
Commander is back. I love a good Commander match. Do I know words? Birches?
I feel like we hit this point about once a week, where usually it's about an hour and a half into the show, where Collins just forgets how to use the English language.
How words be things.
Precisely.
Versus KM, Kevin Matthews. What did you think of this squasherino?
I mean, I appreciated the KM's handshake bringing Commander down to a knee. But
we saw KM on Rampage this last week tagging with Rhett Titus.
Speaking of ROH and someone who has been wildly disrespected since Tony Khan bought the company.
I'm not even halfway through it.
This is also not Collins not denying that it's actually wine in the thermos.
It's water. Do you want to test it? You want me to send you a sample?
Because literally all you said was I'm not halfway through it. You didn't deny that. I the camera will not see it. It absolutely will not. I trust you. I do genuinely trust you.
Listen, I save the wines for the watch-alongs and the post shows, not during the weekday.
Save it for when you need it.
It could have been this live stream. Oh,
yes. This was KM got to show a few fun things. He got to lock out a stretch muffler, which is always a fun move that you don't see enough.
Listen, let me address this, because I don't want y'all to be like, well, Auntie drank last week. I drank last week because it was Kimmy's birthday.
It's true. We're celebrating.
Kimmy only turns 23 once. And what are the chances that she's on our show?
That's true. And I'm turning 23 for the 19th time this year.
Listen, I turned 23 on Monday, so for the 13th time.
There you go.
My birthday was Monday. I had all you could eat crab and 2 tequila drinks.
That sounds like a great night.
It was. You take me to a seafood restaurant or like an all-you-can-eat crab pot kind of thing. That's the way to my heart. I'll give you everything.
There you go. But this match was it was what it was.
It was what it was.
KM got to do a few special things. He got to have a couple of big power spots. Shoulder blocking the cross body block out of midair was kind of fun. Commander hits a couple of top rope moves. He hits that springboard splash, and then hits that the rope walk shooting star for the pin. I had this at 3:18. It was in and out. Commander is a thing. It sounds like he's finishing up with AAA. Seeing as Matt Riddle is now the AAA Cruiserweight Champion. Because Conan.
Because reasons. Hello to our friend Corey.
Corey! Thank you for joining us, Corey. Always glad to see you, sir.
Kyle's stealing the wind right on my sails here. It's Corey. It's Corey Michaels.
Who has written for a variety of sites across the net. Find his stuff. Check him out on Twitter. Give him a follow as well. And
definitely another person who's smarter than me. So,
let's see.
We're not talking about Triple Mania. We're talking about Ring of Honor.
And with good reason.
Yeah.
Well, I did just name drop AAA and Commander dropping that title. So there was a tangent. A tangent was begun, and it's probably good that we got steered back away.
I agree.
Did you have anything else about Commander's match here? There wasn't much.
It's not enough to draw a sample from. It's the best of series. You got that, Matt. You got that, Matt. Did all the moves that we see Commander do, and it ended with
out their stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, there was a flippy thing off the top rope to get a quick pin. There we go. You've never seen
It is Corey 0, the number 0, Michaels.
Hello, Bobby. Bobby, we put you over at the beginning of the show for your awesome new intro, in which I messed everything up and I did not play the weekly things. So I
I really can't wait for you to rewatch the show so you can clip some of this nonsense.
It's been a great time. No, there's a new intro. There's a new intro with Oliver. Wait, yes, the OLE. Sorry. Yes, the new.
That's exactly what he asked.
No, that's exactly what you're saying. Exactly. The OLE one of the clips I do not like of myself because I'm not paying attention or I look like I'm sleeping. That's all I gotta say.
Well, then let's put over Astrid too, and because there's always time to put over Astrid. She is wonderful. Astrid. We are so thrilled to work with her. She is amazing in her. She is amazing in her own right.
Agreed.
And these squash matches were not amazing, but we're gonna keep plowing through them. As EJ Nduka was up next,
the judge
against Dion Russman.
Never heard of this Dion Russman person.
He was last seen in on ROH in a losing effort to Lance Archer back on June 20th.
Oh.
He also lost to Roosh on Dynamite on June 12th. Of course, for those paying attention, remember Nduka made his ROH in-ring debut 4 weeks ago, just before Death Before Dishonor, in a win over John Cruz. Just a squash. 255. Nduka hit some power moves, hit a stinger splash, got in, got out, hit that. I'm not even sure what you call that. Like it's almost like a one-handed press slam. Like I'm not even sure what a name for that is.
As easy as it sounds, I really like his lariats. Like the fundamental things that Nduka does, EJ Nduka does. I don't know, the judge, whatever we're calling him. He does the fundamentals really well, and he makes them look really smooth. So you know that he's been getting his reps in behind the scenes. You know that he's been focusing on making sure it looks right. But he's so tall. How tall is he?
I want to say 6'7", 6'8", right in that neighborhood.
Because he made Dion look small.
Yes.
Which makes me excited because I like them tall guys. I like them. I like them when they're big and meaty. I like it when they can throw people. Give me more of them. But this was another squash. really nice feature for the judge back on our television screens, back in front of our faces to let us know who the heck he is. I'm into it. Just want to see more. Apparently, his finisher is called an Exodus drop.
That sounds sounds right. I'm pretty sure I heard Exodus something. I'm not sure if there was another verb attached to it or what.
That is what the Twitter told me, was that is an Exodus drop.
If it's on the internet, it's good to go.
Listen, people on the internet on this show have said that my water bottle is full of wine.
Yeah, that's how I know they're full of it.
Oh my God. We jumped into another match.
Yes, let's go. The Iron Savages and Jack Jameson against Jay Alexander, Colton Charles, and Rosario Grillo. We
have entered Titty City, y'all.
And oh my, I popped so hard for Ian Riccaboni as Jameson goes, well, what if I don't want to go? Like, just such an amazing...
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that's what I wrote in my notes.
It was one of the only notes that I had for this match that was over in 1:43. Boulder dominates. This doesn't last long. They use a double rocket launcher with Bronson and Jameson launching Boulder off the top rope into a splash.
Seems a little bit excessive.
A little bit, but you know what? I appreciate it. It's...
Any other thoughts about this match?
Not really. I still think the Iron Savages are a fun heel act. I think they work.
You're right.
Jameson is growing on me.
I mean, I remember that we talked a couple weeks ago about how I did not really like the addition of Jameson, but you know what? It's growing on me.
And I'm telling you, you were already on board with this plan. Let's give us a little month-long or so mini feud between MXM and the Iron Savages.
I need it. Absolutely. I need it right now. Tony Khan, book it.
Don't let this be one of those little one-off things. Give them a little bit of a story. Give them 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, you're killing time until December at Final Battle anyway. Give them a month and a half. Give them a month and a half or so, and let them have some fun, build to an actual blow-off match, and tell a little self-contained story.
Amen. Well, are you ready for the next match?
I am. I do not have a problem with it.
Kyle, you got me.
The best part was that it took a second.
I know. My nickname in high school was SeaTac. Okay? That's the airport.
Yeah.
Because
things go
over my head. So my sweatshirt for my senior year didn't say my last name. It just said SeaTac. But like C, because Collins.
Right.
TAC. And people are like, what is a SeaTac? It's because everything goes right over my head.
Yes.
I always love it. Thank you. I'm so glad y'all like my laughter.
And Astrid is in the chat too. We saw
Astrid's in the chat.
her.
We did your pose. I don't know how to do it as cute as you.
That's because Astrid's one of a kind like that.
One of a kind. Oh. Chris reminding us that there are four more matches to get through.
Yeah, but we're only.
I'm sorry. I've lost my damn mind. I'm so sorry. Do I need to silence?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is an indeed. Also, to be fair, we're only at an hour 17 in. This is actually well ahead of schedule for us.
That's fair. Oh, I'm so sorry. I feel like, they had a little laughing fit. Okay, it's so fun. I'm so glad my friends are in the chat. Oh, thank you for laughing with me.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it was before I dropped the joke that broke Auntie.
Oh my gosh, I need to go watch it.
We had Marina Shafir versus Tiara James in, what was an absolute squash, under 3.5 minutes. Marina offers the code of honor from her back.
Okay, that's the thing. It's like, it's technically not wrong.
And then just drops like 1.5 minutes of some of the most insulting grappling that I've ever seen. Where she just grapples this girl to the ground repeatedly and looks utterly bored while she's doing it.
I just wish that we could get Marina Shafir versus Bryan Danielson.
That would be a blast. I would also accept Zack Sabre Jr. or Hechicero.
Oh my gosh, let's just have a tournament with just them. Oh, I need it. Oh.
To be fair, if she laughs to the point of crying, then it does dovetail in with her show on.
No. Oh my god. Oh, that's true. I have technically cried on this show tonight.
It's a 2-part show.
Oh, I love it here.
Love you, Bobby. No, this was Marina just transitions from hold to hold, catches her in mother's milk. Ref stoppage as Tiara James passes out. 3.5 minutes in, out.
I'm surprised it was even 3 minutes because it was just like watching, I don't know, a predator eat their prey.
There was I think it was Ian who said it on commentary that it felt like she was treating it like a sparring match.
Danielson undergo a massive yet incredible gauntlet match where he can have broken remains of his entire body. I know that it's a joke, and I hope that Brittany Danielson sees these tweets one day and understands, but she is the biggest heel right now in wrestling. Bigger than MJF, bigger than anyone.
They come from a place of love, and love is inherently at least a little bit selfish. It always is. We love Bryan Danielson, and we don't want to let him go.
I don't know. I will cry. I will cry. I
but
will cry.
but I do have a whole lot of Bryan Danielson matches on DVD. We do have access to Honor Club where we can watch a whole bunch of them.
I mean, they're even earmarked on that opening homepage when you open up your Honor Club. Right there, history of Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
Right there.
There is, I believe they have one of his DVD collections as well on there, which was his. I think it was during his world title run.
Oh,
I believe that's in there someplace.
One of my favorite Bryan Danielson clips is him showing. Is it PCO?
Is
No.
it the one? Is it the one with he and Homicide?
Oh, Homicide. Sorry.
And they're just taking turns beating up poor. I think it's poor Rhett Titus.
Rhett Titus.
Because I think he was a student in the ROH dojo at that point.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely incredible. But we do go backstage before we go to this next squash of Angelico, and is it Angelico? Angelico? I don't know.
It's gone back and it's gone back and forth now, and I'm a little bit bothered by it as someone who is a bit of a stickler for
Chris.
this.
I'm not a smart person.
Although can we get Homicide and PCO in like a street fight or some kind of a deathmatch atmosphere? It would be really good. Even if Auntie wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
I said the wrong name. I wasn't thinking of PCO. It just fit.
Nevertheless, backstage, we have Serpentico, who suggests that Angelico should challenge for the pure title. And at first, he tells Snake Man that you're crazy. I shouldn't do this after just one Pure Rules match. But Serpentico tells him it would make his teacher, Negro Navarro, proud.
The first match I ever saw live of Daniel Makabe, after watching him online for years, was him versus Negro Navarro. And he didn't speak a lick of English, but it was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely incredible. It is for free online if you can find it. I know it's out there. You might see me in the second row, but absolutely incredible. It's like 2017-ish time. Incredible.
Nonetheless, Angelico thinks about it for a while, agrees that it would make Negro Navarro proud, and decides that yes, he will in fact challenge Lee Moriarty for the pure title. Now, I should be ecstatic about this. And I am still very happy. The match will be very, very good. But you could have really built this into something and really made Angelico into a player. And you're just... It feels like it's about to be thrown away. And I don't love that. It feels like it feels a little unearned. I'm still very excited for it. I'm still very excited that they recognize that this is a very natural fit for him. And I'm excited to watch the match. But I feel like you could have put some build behind this, a couple of weeks of build behind this, if not a couple of months. Build up Angelico. Build it up for Final Battle. Actually sustain a build for Angelico for several months or several weeks at least, and let Moriarty continue to get some defenses under his belt. If Angelico is the next challenger, I do not buy that he is taking the title. I do not buy that there is a chance in hell that he is taking the title.
All.
Not as the second challenger for Moriarty. Well, first, actually, Moriarty hasn't actually defended the belt. It was a proving ground against Andretti last week.
Agreed. Yep.
So Moriarty is not going to be a V0 champion. So I all this to say, I'm excited, but I could be so much more excited if it was actually built properly. And it's not. I'm annoyed by it.
I don't want you to be annoyed by it because I understand that this is something that you've been wanting to see, right? And we know that it's going to be it's going to be a good match, whatever platform it's going to be on. And you know how I love Pure Rules matches, but we need a working champion, and I think that's the thing that we needed so much in the absence of Wheeler Yuta, is that we wanted legitimate matches, not just proving ground matches, not just, on other television shows like AEW. But we needed actual matches that we are wanting to see, that we might know the outcome of, because this would be his first title defense. There's not enough build to it, but I'm hoping that this is one of many matches, because there are now going to be a couple people that we really want to see in that Pure Rules division. You know who is not ready for that division? Action Andrade. Absolutely not. Aaron Solo, not ready.
You know who is ready for that division? Anthony Henry.
Oh, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. All right, that's our new boy that we're putting it behind.
Yes. I'm still gonna hold out hope. I'm still gonna hold out hope for more continued presence for Angelico in the division, because I think he is an unbelievably natural fit and he should stay there. Mm-hmm. It would be so. But Anthony Henry is another one who absolutely would kill it in that division and deserves a chance to show it.
I think another person that would be great if they could actually get some wins is Tony Nese.
I'd buy that. And I think we should be cognizant of not pigeonholing that division.
Right.
Because you also had one of the first Pure champions after AJ won it, held it for a couple of months. He had to vacate because of the TNA pulling talent. Doug Williams won it. Eventually, the title went to Samoa Joe. And Joe held the Pure title for quite some time. I believe he lost it to, before, if I remember correctly, losing it to Nigel McGuinness. Mm-hmm. Because Joe beat his protege, Jay Lethal, eventually lost it to Nigel McGuinness. But Samoa Joe is, while he's a fantastic wrestler, when you look at the lineage of the Pure title, Joe's name kind of sticks out. It's like he doesn't necessarily work the style that a lot of these guys do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it precludes him from being an interesting addition to that division. You can find a big bruiser and have that be representing Pure wrestling. Find a high flyer and have that be representing Pure wrestling. Like, you can play with that, because something about this sport is the artistry that is not necessarily limited to one style or genre.
That's the beautiful part of it.
Less beautiful, however, is our next match.
Yeah, I just scrolled the page and went, Remember how a couple months ago I was like, I'm on board with this Jacoby Watts Nick Camarado storyline.
I do remember.
Can I take that back, please?
I think it absolutely should.
Can I just say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want this buyer's remorse because I don't give a flying. I don't give a flying
Anything.
turd. Nothing. However, Cool Hand Ange is back. Hello, Papa. Is he Papa Ange? Is he? He's definitely not a daddy. Papa Ange and Daddy Magic. And that's so cute. Papa Ange defeating Jacoby Watts and Nick Camarado in a very... It's almost fall. Why not get the summer squash out, right? I made Kyle laugh. Sorry if you're wearing headphones. So sorry. But Papa Ange is back.
Yep. Sure. I'm glad to have 2.0 in the tag division again. I think while Menard is a perfectly solid color commentator, I think there's still value in the two of them in the tag division.
Agreed.
But that said, like there wasn't much here. There really wasn't. Like I don't even have notes for this. Like Jacoby Watts tried his little shtick, and Parker and Menard pretty much dealt with that. And like again, about 3.5 minutes, and we were done. Hit a double DDT on Camarado, got the pin. The end. Like I don't know what the point of any of this is. Usually when you pair somebody like this, they start getting some wins. Camarado hasn't. All he's done is lose. Watts isn't even getting wins on his own to show that he can actually do it. So the gimmick itself is feasible because
feasible.
The idea of the crooked pastor type vibe, like that,
sure.
That's a workable gimmick.
Sure. I would agree.
But at no point is this someone that I would want to pay to see win or lose.
And that's the unfortunate part. How do you get folks back into wanting to see it? Because it's not even go away heat. It's just it's just indifference.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's not really much to say. And I feel bad because it's not like any of them deserve no reaction. It's just offer them free steak dinners and they'll be right back on to it. Listen, if you're handing out steak dinners.
Oh, so you can be bought with steak as well?
Yes, I can. I am not, okay. There's a restaurant here in Redmond. And if you know Redmond, Washington, that's where all the tech whatever are. So it's a little bit upscale. There's a restaurant called Prime. I've eaten there twice. They have $80 steak. And I don't understand why it's superior to any steak I've ever had in my small life. But it's the kind of steak that melts in your mouth. You don't even have to chew it. it just disintegrates. And the side that comes with it, it's basically like, it's called potatoes dauphinoise, but it's French for, you know, basically sliced cheesy potatoes. But they put it in like a little iron skillet. It's in its own little, it's fantastic. 10 out of 10. I want to go again, but you know, I gotta go with like a crisp 100. Maybe 150 and get some drinks going. But oh, so good. Listen, Bobby, you make me a good steak, and I'm never leaving your house. I'm never leaving.
All right. Let's Tony, so
honestly, if I lived in the Midwest or in the South where there's like respectable meat places, I would be a much larger human than I am now. I couldn't stop myself.
So-
how can anyone stop themselves? Sorry, I'm talking about meat here, Kyle. You're acting like this is
speaking of meat, the next match we have on the show.
Are you ready for it? Hey! Let me show you the unedited picture because hello, darling. Look at them abs. I can't get enough of them. I can't get enough of them.
Well, there are a lot of them.
I think genetically he has more than everyone else. I don't make the rules. But we do have Tony's niece in action against Lio Rush. Lio Rush defeated Blake Christian last week. I really enjoyed that little tango they had. When is Tony Nese going to pick up a win?
In singles action, good luck. Corey, this thing went off the rails a lot.
Yeah, that's the whole joy.
It's kind of our gimmick at this point.
Yeah, we're having fun. This was just a very good cruiserweight match.
Well, these two do have history dating. They first met at a match in House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer's promotion, back in 2016. So they did, in fact, meet a couple of times back on 205 Live. So...
With his corn cob abs and his button nose and her two eyes fixed on gold. Tony the Niece. Oh, Tony the Niece man was a jolly happy soul. I love that.
But yes, Nice did have a win in a tag match on his last appearance on ROH. He and Daivari beat up the Superstars, as I recall, the two Motley Crue cosplayers.
Oh, the cosplay boys.
But otherwise, yeah, this was a great junior heavyweight style match. Lio Rush is just such a joy to watch. He moves so fast. His foot speed in the ring is unlike anything I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
The only person that I've ever seen that I can compare him to is a gentleman wrestled for Dragon Gate years ago by the name of Masato Yoshino. If you go and watch classic ROH, Yoshino came to ROH a couple of times during some of the Dragon Gate Invasion shows, and that guy to this day may run the ropes faster than anybody I've ever seen.
Wow.
So, but no, Leo is fantastic, and you really got to see Nice sort of flex his athleticism trying to keep up. And that makes that a great showcase for Nice as well, because you have the story that's being told here of Rush as the superior athlete, while Nice is almost as good, but he's willing to cheat, and he's got Mark Sterling on the outside, and that levels the playing field, and that gives us the push and pull of the match.
I would agree, Bobby. I do think that he does have that cockiness that is matched with how great he is in the ring. This was a really great change of pace for this show. I know that we are winding down the end of this 2-hour show. Absolutely was a nice earmark in a sea of squash. There was a couple moments where the crowd really rallied for Lio Rush. He is really fun to watch, which I always think is such a great thing when he's in the ring. People are giving him exactly what he came here to do. There was a few missteps at the end that it kind of felt a little awkward, but nonetheless, Lio Rush did hit a springboard cutter in the end, and there was that frog splash right after to get the 1, 2, 3. Loved it. Was great.
I had it at 9:15. So the first two matches went 22-21. The last two matches went 20-18. So you had about 43 minutes, give or take, of wrestling in the first two and last two matches. The other 9 matches went about 30 minutes.
Okay, that really puts everything into perspective for me. But
I could add up the actual specific times, but even ballparking it gives you the idea what I'm getting at. Like, it doesn't. I don't need to crunch every single number down to the second to make it abundantly clear that the middle of this show was just rough.
Agreed. Do you have anything to say before we jump into our main event?
No, just that before the main event, we went over the card for All In, which involves a few people who were once in ROH, but that no one who has anything at all to do with ROH as it is presently constituted. But because we are owned by AEW, we also have to air AEW commercials. I continue to be bothered by that, and that might be a silly thing to be bothered by, but here we are. So let's go to our main event, shall we?
Absolutely. We do have our Ring of Honor World Championship match. Our champion, Ring of Honor World Champion, Mark Briscoe, taking on the Beast Mortos, who is on a really nice winning streak, getting up some squash wins, but also some pretty legitimate matches that have really, really impressed me. But that's not to say that Mark Briscoe is also not very busy. He did, as we've mentioned, participate in Blood and Guts. He defended his title at Death Before Dishonor. Then he took on the Premier Athletes in a trios match about 24 hours later. Then he was in another 8-man match, and then a trios match involving the Beast Mortos, in which the Beast Mortos did pin him.
Yes, he did, which is how we earned this match.
How we're here. But the Beast Mortos, after pinning on AEW Collision, made that really the biggest win of his career that we've seen in Ring of Honor. And it was mentioned, in Mark Briscoe's promo, but I really think lit a fire under, the kung fu redneck chicken,
Yeah, Mark was out beast hunting tonight. He busted out all the big moves. He busted out the cactus elbow. He went for the J driller probably 30 to 40 seconds into the match.
Oh,
He didn't hit, but he was clearly going for the head right away.
absolutely. I mean, that's the best thing that you can do. Hey, there is this move that I am taking from my brother that is absolutely brutal, that can absolutely end someone if hit the wrong way. Why not try to hit it early on? But I kind of think it's okay. I know he's not a bull. I know the Beast Mortos is not a bull, but it's the same kind of thing when I see, a matador and a bull. He's waving his best in front of him to see how he runs through it. And I really thought that the Beast Mortos handled himself really well. There were some really close calls in the middle there that made me nervous. Like, oh, I guess we're gonna do this. Are we doing this? Okay. But some of those near falls really got me.
I definitely popped for Ian referring to because at one point Mark had like a rear chin lock on Mortos and was like putting hands over the face and on the mask. And Ian at one point referenced on commentary that he is grabbing the snout of Mortos, and for some reason that just popped me just to hear Ian anthropomorphize the mask like that.
Anthropomorphize?
Anthropomorphize.
Anthropomorphize. Is that a word?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Really good. I really liked everything. There was a steel chair in this match. Were you shocked? I just feel like for someone who got their two front teeth knocked out by a steel chair, why are you still hanging out with steel chairs?
You just can't say no.
Oh, but Mark Briscoe did bring in that steel chair and used it on the outside of the ring.
He does love springboarding off those chairs.
I don't know how he does it, because anytime I step on a chair, it slips. You know what? He's relying so much. He does that running thing. He steps on the chair. He flies out of it. Does like a front, whatever moonsault or whatever the hell they're called. I don't know. But getting that extra oomph, what if he clips his toe? I don't know. Like,
that's a risk he's willing to take.
I guess that is a risk that he's willing to take. But there was a nice little series where Mortos seemed to not be affected by the J Driller. And he put Mark Briscoe right into a Samoan drop, which was like, what an interesting answer to that. However,
the pop-up Samoan drop was great.
Pop-up Samoan drop. Oof. I like all the names. They're fun.
Martos kicking out at 1 from Froggy Bow was great
So good.
stuff.
Absolutely.
But Jay was able to recover. But Mark's able to recover. They trade some bombs. Mark does hit the J Driller for the win. 11 minutes, 11:03.
Great main event. Fun, exciting. Capped off a weirdly squasherific episode. It's kind of, I just here's my thought on adding a bunch of matches that don't really mean anything. You want me to pay for this? This is behind a paywall?
You could have used the first two and the last two matches, and I'll be generous and even toss in the Abaddon squash because you're positioning them for a title shot.
Sure.
Use those 5 matches, give all of them a little bit more time, and you could have had a really tight hour of television tonight.
But that's asking for way too much.
You could have had a really tight hour of TV. Give Mark and Mortos another, 5 minutes. Maybe shave 3 or 4 off of the 8-man tag. Play around with some of those things. But you could have had a really tight hour of TV. Instead, it was a bloated 2-hour-long, squash-filled mess. That I'm not sure who was still around by the time you got to the main event.
I don't know. Us. It was us. We're still around because we're still talking about it at a minute and 52, 53 minutes. And how do minutes and times work? I don't know. What did you think of the show as a whole, grade-wise, if you were going to grade episode 78?
The first 2 and last 2 matches alone would have been enough to give it a solid grade, but all of the filler in the middle just drags it so far down into a C minus kind of territory for me.
I would agree. It was really kind of disappointing. Although kind of the worst movies, action movies that you've seen ever. You watch the first 20 minutes, you fall asleep for the hour and a half, and then you wake up for the last 20 minutes and you know exactly what the movie is about. So that's kind of how I felt about this episode. We could have used without the middle. The first 2 and the last 2 matches were sufficient. We're just trying to extend something that we've already clinically done before. So it is what it is. Solid C minus show for me.
Yeah. But Mark celebrates. Ian wonders who can stop him, who can stop Mark Briscoe one-on-one. He celebrates as Ian wishes us happy wrestling, everybody. And I had the total show time at 2:03:49. Total match time is 1:13 even, so 58.9%. Average match time I had at 5:37.
That's not very long. Especially since the averages are being weighed down by 4 matches out of the 13, correct?
Yes, the first 2 and the last 2 averaged out to be about 10 to 11 minutes apiece.
Jeez.
Wow. The nine in the middle, however, dragged that average way down.
Aren't you excited for Ring of Honor? So excited. We're going into the fall. Well,
it would really make me feel good if they had Glory by Honor sometime in October or
wouldn't
so.
Wouldn't that be nice? Well,
something to a signpost as we go towards Final Battle, but apparently not.
Kyle, the next time we see you, it'll be September.
Yes.
And I'm really sad about that.
I am traveling for work next week, so we'll have a substitute in here, probably Kimmy. I'm not sure though, but
I don't know.
Either way, you'll be in capable hands. Auntie will find someone fantastic, as always.
We'll make it through. But Kyle, where can we find you on the social media space?
Follow me at Kyle K. Sparks on Twitter. That is where all of my stuff happens. It's where I live tweet shows. It's where I announce where I'm going to be. It's where I announce what I'm going to be doing. It's where I talk about whatever happens to be floating through my ears at that particular point. Yeah, give me a follow there, and you'll be able to keep up with what's going down. I am writing the results for ROH for Body Slam every week, so I'll be publishing those. I'll be publishing those shortly, and I'm here every Thursday for Honor Ramble. So make sure that you give me a follow and that you're following OLE podcasts and all the fun folks here. You'll hear more about that from
For
Auntie here.
me. Well, before you do that, you can always follow me at _ queer auntie. Please help me grow my Instagram. I'm so bad at the Instagram. So help me be better at Instagram. I promise I am going to post more things there. You can find me anywhere else. You can find me on Threads, where I am posting things that probably could have been an email. I don't know. What have you. I'm also having fun on the TikTok. So come follow me. Have some fun. See this little cute little guy. He's just a cute little guy. Such a cute little guy. He's not real, but it's just a cute little guy. So come see cute little guys. And remember, this is your friends at our local establishment. You can see all of our social media handles there. Give us a like, give us a follow. Hello, we've got a lot of stuff going on. I know that I didn't play the weekly stuff going on, but if the intro was enough for you, hey, we have something going on every day. So be sure to put that notification bell on. You will never want to miss any of our videos. I love popping into the stream as well. So if you want to chat with me, chat with anyone here, they're watching everything, and I learn something new from everyone every single day. So go follow us on all of those social media, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Tickle Tockles. We're everywhere. We're everywhere you want to be. So yeah, we watch some happy wrestling, and we'll be back next week. Stay safe. Oh, and don't drink and drive. I don't know.
I mean,
Be
it's good
smart.
advice.
It is great advice. Don't drink and drive, and watch your wrestling responsibly.
Or else.
See ya. Bye.